There is a creator named Bronte Marie, and when I was looking at her content, she posted a video of her doing a trial run of her makeup for her wedding. And I thought the look was beautiful, but I noticed that she used all high-end makeup. So what I wanted to do today is I'm going to show you her video right here. It's going to be a little bit sped up, and if you want to watch it like regular speed, I will link it for you in the description box below. But I wanted to do that same kind of look, but using all drugstore products. Now, the only thing is I kind of can't recall the exact eyeshadow look she did because I recorded it on my phone, and I'm using my phone right now to record, but we're going to do our best. So let's go ahead and quickly watch her TikTok. This isn't part of her tutorial. Don't mind these. I've had a rough day. I've been crying a little bit, but it's gonna be fine. It's only 10:30 at night and I'm doing my full face of makeup to turn around and go to bed. Look at her. She's like, Mom, are you okay? No. The answer is no, sweetie. Okay, so this is not part of her tutorial, but if I was getting ready for my wedding, I would have to use something with some green in it. This is the Stila One Step Correct in Kitten. I would have to neutralize some of this red because when I get nervous or stressed, I get red. Actually, I might just use a little bit because I want this to have a fair shot to her. And it's not her fault I've been crying. You know what I mean? So the first thing she uses is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter thingamabob. So if you haven't seen all the rage, e.l.f. has released the Halo Glow Liquid Highlighter, which has been said to be a dupe, but also the Maybelline Perfector 4-in-1 has been said to be a dupe. So I actually tried these in comparison to each other. I will link that video for you, and honestly they really do pretty much the same thing, except the e.l.f. gives a tiny bit more coverage. So if you're looking for a lighter look, then I would say the Maybelline would be good, but if you want a little extra coverage, which I do for this redness, I'm gonna say your best bet is to go with the e.l.f. So let's go ahead and pop this on. Let me see how much she does. Okay, all over. Unhinged. Your love isn't like anything that you think it is. It's not a gift, it's everything that I'm sick of it. Alright, so there's that all blended in. Let's see what she does.
I used a little bit of the Too Faced brow gel to fluff up the brows before I do the rest of my base.
Okay, to fluff up my brows, I'm going to, I gathered all the makeup that I wanted for this and threw it in this Ulta bag so I could have it ready to rock and roll here, so I didn't have to go searching for everything that she mentioned. It's going so well. Everything's just going. So I'm actually going to use some of the e.l.f. Brow Lift. I'm just going to fluff up my brows. Okay.
I'm going for a little bit of a softer brow look. Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. I recently started using this again and it is beautiful.
I want to go in her accent. Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. Now, you could go in with the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, kind of like with the e.l.f. versus the Maybelline. The Wet n Wild is going to give you a little bit of a lighter coverage look. So again, because I want a little bit more coverage, I'm going to go in with the NYX Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation.
I'm aiming for a medium to full coverage. I really want this to photograph beautifully.
So she works on a medium to full coverage, and so that's what we're going to go for with this foundation. So I'm going to start by placing it just like she did in the areas that I want the most coverage. And then just like I did with the e.l.f., I'm going to blend this all over with a brush. And then I will go back over for the final finish with my sponge. I'm like, I know, that looks plum nuts. I totally agree with you. This is just dispersing it to the areas that I want. And this is a very liquidy foundation, so be careful. It's going to, like, go everywhere. All right, let me go ahead and blend this in. We now have the foundation all blended out, and it still has a very nice glow under it. And so now we're going to go in with a color corrector. I am going to use the NYX Dark Circle Concealer / corrector. This is in the shade Fair.
Nice. Lay it up with the...
So I'm going to warm it up on the end of my finger. Pop it right there. Right there.
Closest concealer, because this is my favorite concealer of all time. It's
okay, so I'm going to go ahead and blend that out. So the first concealer that I'm going to use is the new one I just tested from Catrice. It is not that, that's a lip gloss. The Catrice True Skin High Cover Concealer. This is in the shade 002 Neutral Ivory. If you haven't seen the video where I just tested this, go check it out. Okay, so she takes it. Dab, 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 and a little here. Blend it out. Truly a beautiful concealer. Like, I'm shocked how much I like it. Now, she adds the Huda for just an extra touch of coverage. For me, I'm going to go in with the Glamoflauge Pro. This is from Hard Candy, and this is in the shade Ivory. I'm going
just a little bit of extra coverage of a special event. I'm adding a dot of the Huda Beauty Concealer right there and right there. That's
okay, right in the inner corner, just for a little extra brightness. And this definitely is going to give me that, so... And I'm going to make sure that I blend that up because I tend to have a little bit of purple hit right there. So I'm going to take one of my very tiny sponges from Profusion, wet that just a little bit, and go ahead and blend that into this area. Like, even that dot might have been a little too much. And there we have it. Just that extra touch of something right there to brighten it up.
Really cut out that darkness under the eyes. Adding some of the Charlotte Tilbury contour.
So she goes in with the Charlotte Tilbury contour. I'm going to use another recently discovered absolute favorite. This is the Revolution Ultra Cream Bronzer in Light. And I'm going to take my KVD brush. So she kind of did this deal, she kind of went down
where I need it,
like here, oh, I have to look, and here. Then I'm going to go over and blend it in with my sponge. This is a lot of blending. I cannot tell you how obsessed I am with this new Ultra Cream Bronzer. Then she goes in with Rare Beauty Blush, and she just does a dot right there. So I'm going to use the Profusion. Oh, this is in my tie. This is not the one I wanted. Where's the one I wanted? There it is. Profusion Blush Hour Soft Matte Liquid Blushes. I have this one in Paloma, which is pretty red. And then I have this one that's in my tie, that's orange. I think I'm going to do a baby dot of both of them because I think one of the others is going to be too much. But I think a baby dot of both is going to give me the correct color that I want. So obviously you don't need two colors, just the formula is fantastic. I'm just working with what I have, you know. All right, so blend. So now she sprays her face down. I'm going to give a little spritz with my No Bad Days from Wet n Wild. This is the Hydrating Setting Mist.
And then taking powder on a setting.
Then she takes powder
through the center of the face.
Powder on a setting puff through the center of the face. I actually have some. These are from Amazon. The Patella 2-piece powder puffs. They're actually really fantastic. I think it was like $3. So I'm going to be taking the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop matte. It's my favorite, guys. I absolutely love it. So take a powder that works for you. Make sure it's one that has no flashbacks. The Dermablend one is really great. I use it in my makeup kit. My face looks flawless. I think the other thing I would do that she didn't do in hers is I would use some of my under eye rehab primer stuff from Revolution. I would put it in my lines on my forehead and my lines on my lips. Building up her brows with a brow pen. If you want a really good drugstore option, go to NYX. This is the Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen.
Much help. And then adding.
Oh, I definitely need some help in the front, and then I need a little bit of help on like where my brow starts to turn. It's a little sparse, and then out toward the end, especially on this side, because I tend to accidentally shave it off every time I dermablade my face. Like right there, I can just make such a natural looking end. So then she also does a pencil. Alright, so I'm going to use the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim Pencil. It's truly a good, very precise drugstore brow pencil. So I'm just going to line my brows and then just kind of fill in where needed. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my spoolie and kind of reshape things because they've gotten not quite as fluffy as I wanted them just from working with them. So I'm going to reshape them, fluff them up a little bit. This brow naturally does not want to stay as fluffy as I could potentially get this one. Building up mattes in the crease. So, oh, this is the stuff I would have used. The Line Fix Under Eye Primer here and here. So I am going to use an eyeshadow primer. I want my eyeshadow to last all day. She did not do that, but I'm going to recommend Milani. It's going to, truly, it's going to make a difference for your eyeshadow to last through your entire event. So just in a little does you. You don't want a whole lot. Less is more. So then she starts using the Pillow Talk. Now I had like a pretty darn close dupe of that from Revolution, but I'm almost positive I got rid of it. So I'm going to say for this kind of color scheme she's going for, check out Profusion, their Mauves palette. I think we can do something pretty similar. So let me go back and just double check here. I'm going to start with this shade called Lovely. Probably mixed with a little bit of Kindly, so just dibby dab in both. And I'm going to build that up in the crease. And then, like, see, I feel like that eye got a little too pink, so I'm going to go back into Kindly, which is a little less pink, and kind of blend that out.
And start building up mattes in the crease. Going to use the Cosmetics Cosmic Pearl Dewy Eyeshadow in Moonrise as a base for my shimmer.
So as a base for the shimmer, oh, I know exactly what I want. Where is it? I'm going to use, I kind of forgot about this one. I'm going to use this e.l.f. No Budge eyeshadow stick. This is from the Mint Melt collection, and it is in Ice Cream. So I'm just going to put that all over my lid. And this is going to be a base.
Then I'm going to take this darkest shade.
Okay, I'm not sure she put one of those shimmer shades on. So I'm going to take this shade. You could choose if you want to go more pink or more gold. I'm going to go pink, so I'm going to take Femme and put that all over the lid on top of that No Budge eyeshadow stick. So then she layers the look with a Stila liquid eyeshadow. I'm going to use e.l.f. and this is in the shade Little Dipper, and I'm going to layer that over top. Again, this is taking the look more pink, but you could easily make it more gold if you need to, and then you could choose a different color. But this, the liquid, what are these called? These little liquid glitter eyeshadow things from e.l.f., the formula will do pretty dang on close to the Stila. You do want to keep your eye open just a little bit to let that dry. And then I'm going to take some of the Kindly and just lightly blend out over the top of that to make sure everything is nice and evenly blended. That's really pretty.
From this other Pillow Talk palette and add that on as eyeliner. Building.
So then it looks like she takes a dark brown as eyeliner, kind of like a browny mauve color. So I'm going to take the shade Explode. Yeah, let's make sure that's the right name. And I'm going to use that as my eyeliner. Now for me, one way I like to do it is to actually, after I get the eyeshadow on, wet the brush just a little. It makes it just a little bit more intense. And I'm going to press that right along the lash line. Yeah, I think she went more gold than pink now that I'm looking at it again. So I probably would have gone in with Opal on the lid and then have gone in with one that is more gold. But like when I was first looking at it, I thought it was pink, but now I'm thinking it's more gold. Okay, so she's building up a little bit of depth in the outer corner. I am going to take a little bit of the shade Lovesick. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit of Explode in Kindly. Those two shades. And just build it up a little bit. I'm really going very light-handed. Okay, for mascara, you're probably going to want to do something waterproof. I, unfortunately, cannot do waterproof. It gives me a headache. So I'm going to do the Essence Volume Stylist Lash Extension Mascara. No, I'm not. I just tried one that I was super impressed by. Oh, I don't see it. Darn it, I wanted to use it. I don't know where it went. This is a really good one. But like I said, you may want to do waterproof. I think she did her under eyes as well already. Now, because I don't want anything too dark on my under eyes, I am just going to go in with the shade Kindly on this fluffy brush. Not super fluffy, but you know what I mean. And just lightly run that on my under eyes. Okay, and then on your wedding day, don't panic if you get some eyeshadow. Just take a fluffy brush and sweep it away. No harm, no foul. Okay, then on the bottom lash, and then she's putting false lashes on. So I'm not going to stress about putting the false lashes on. I do have these really, really nice ones from the drugstore. They're from Profusion, but she's using Ardell that's already drugstore, so I wholeheartedly agree with her recommendation. Try the Ardell Wispies. They're very light and natural. Beautiful lashes.
Foaming wispies are actually really pretty.
Full foaming wispies.
Moving on. Using this Hourglass bronzer, just on the perimeters of it.
Okay, instead of the Hourglass, this is from Dollar General. I was obsessed with this. It was this summer or last summer. I think it was last summer, because this summer I actually have the Hourglass one. But this is from Believe Beauty from Dollar General. This is the Sunstruck Marbleized Bronzer in Golden Sienna. Beautiful. And we're just going to take it along the perimeters of the face. I'm actually going to use this brush. It's a Spotlight Duster. Oh, that's not the brush. Nope. Mama chose the wrong brush. Where's it at? Let's go back to the tried and true. This is the e.l.f. Pointed Powder Brush. And then I got a little too much. I got a little too heavy-handed. So I'm going to take my powder brush and just blend it in. Another really nice method of doing your bronzer is to use a large fan brush. It just gives a really nice look.
Blush and bronzer will work for my wedding. The M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow Radiant Veil Blush in Cherub feels like the perfect...
Okay, we're going to build up some blush on the cheeks. Going in with Hard Candy, this is the Just Glow Silk Blush, and this is in the shade Gush Blush. And we're just going to build this up on the cheeks a little bit. Now, this is glowy, So going lightly. I'm just going to dib-a-dab, dib-a-dab. Like, it's not going to take much. Probably don't even need to reload my brush for the other side.
Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand in Spotlight is the bridal highlight. Pairing this.
Okay, so she goes in with the Charlotte Tilbury Spotlight highlighter thing. I have what's supposed to be a dupe from Flower Beauty, the Spotlight Liquid Highlighter. This is in the shade Opal. No, Gleam. Okay, it's too dark for me. I really want to try Opal, but unfortunately because this is dark, I don't want to use it. So what I think is going to get us relatively the same look is from ColourPop. This is the Super Shock Cheek in Flexitarian. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my ring finger and tap it on. So then she goes in with a powder highlighter over top for just like a little extra oomph. I'm going to use the Milani Baked Highlighter in Dulce Perla. Every time I say that, I want to say it like the girl from Kitchen Nightmares when she's like, Perla, did you check the tamales, Perla?
Steel backstage highlighter over the top for a little bit of extra shine. Because my plan for the wedding is to wet.
So then she does a nude lip, and she doesn't actually share with us what she's using because she's testing new stuff. So I'm going to give you my recommendations for like a beautiful nude lip. So for your liner, an excellent nude lip is going to be from Makeup Revolution. These are their Satin Kiss lip liners. This is in the shade Chauffeur. It's truly one of the smoothest lip liner pencils. And then for in the center, she goes for kind of a glossy look. Try the Milani Color Fetish lip balms, lip somethings. This is in the shade Lustful. I think that that's a beautiful nude lip. So here we have the finished look. Now, again, I state, I think now looking at it, she went a little more gold, where I went a little more pink. But that could always be rectified. You could still use the palette from Profusion and go a little bit more bold, and then use a different color of the e.l.f. liquid glitter over top. So I feel like the products were right. I just didn't use the exact right shades. But other than that, I feel like my face looks so good and flawless. Definitely, I would personally need to use, like I said, the Revolution line under eye line rehab stuff a little bit right here in my dimple, right here on my lips, and the lines on my forehead. I don't know if you can see how flawless, juicy, and shiny my skin looks. It looks wonderful. Like the combo of putting the liquid blush under and then the powder blush and then the Flexitarian on top. I mean, it's beautiful. And I'm so bummed that it's 11:30 at night and I have to go literally just wash this off and go to bed. But I loved her look. I just thought, how cool would that be to do it using drugstore products? So let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to go check out her actual video on TikTok just so you can watch it in regular speed and see what all she did. I do wish my brows had stayed up a little bit. I think I should have used a little bit more of that brow gel from e.l.f. because they're not quite as fluffy as hers. But they still look good. They still look defined enough that I think if I took a picture that they would not get lost. You know what I mean? And then also she adds a lash, which definitely wear a lash. That is going to make a difference in your photos. But because she did use a drugstore one, I didn't feel compelled to put one on. Plus it's 11:30 at night. But again, thank you for watching this video. I hope you will like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.